Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to Sunny Delicious. Today we are tackling something that a lot of us are struggling with, and that's being too sensitive and emotional. If you ever felt like your emotions control you or that you are too sensitive, this one is for you. It's time to shift from feeling overwhelmed to managing your emotions like a pro. Now let's talk about it. All right, first things first, let's break down what it means to be sensitive. When we talk about sensitivity, we are referring to how deeply we feel things, whether it's somebody else's comment, a situation at work, or even a small inconvenience. Sensitivity can make us more empathetic and compassionate, which is very good, but it can also lead to feeling hurt or upset more easily. And let us face it, being in your feelings all the time can be so exhausting. But here's the thing, you have the power to change that. You have the power to manage those emotions without shutting them off completely. So, this video is not about saying you should stop being sensitive or you should stop having emotions. No, you just need to learn how to control them, because if you don't control them, they're gonna control you. And if you let your feelings control you, nothing good is gonna come out of that. So, one of the first steps is identifying your emotional triggers. What what are those specific situations or comments that tend to set you off? Well, what are they? Be aware of these things. I'm always talking about being self-aware. Maybe it's criticism that makes you feel sensitive, that triggers your emotional feelings, or feeling ignored, or when plans don't go as expected. Take some time to reflect and write down the most common triggers. Do that for yourself. Recognizing them allows you to prepare mentally. So when they happen again, you're not caught off guard. You can anticipate your emotions and choose how to respond rather than reacting impulsively. We all have those moments we think, why did they say that to me? Why does this always happen? But instead of spiraling in negative thinking, try reframing your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this really about me? Or is it about what's happening in another person's life? Often, what feels like a personal attack has got nothing to do with us, but everything to do with the other person's issues. This is why it's so important to not take everything that everyone and anyone says to you personally. People will just be telling you how they feel about themselves, but indirectly doing that. So, shifting this perspective can instantly make situations feel less personal and help you take control over your emotional reactions. So emotional regulation is key. It's key. This doesn't mean bottling this doesn't mean bottling up your emotions, but learning how to express them in healthy ways. Journaling is a great option for this. This is how you keep track of yourself. This is how you check up on yourself, the same way you take that phone and check up on your friends. So when you feel overwhelmed, grab a notebook and just start writing everything down, your frustrations, your thoughts, your feelings. It helps to release some of that emotional build-up. Exercise is another fantastic way to regulate your emotions. Yeah, just stand up, get on your gym clothes, take that fast jog, just do something that's gonna keep your body and your mind moving, keeping you moving. So, moving your body releases tension and it brings a sense of calmness. It brings calmness when you're feeling stressed and anxious. Now, let's talk about boundaries. Because honestly, this is something that sensitive people struggle with. We tend to take on other people's emotions and problem as our own. which only adds to our emotional load. Learning to say no or distancing yourself from negative energy is so crucial. And I understand. It's not gonna be so easy because you don't want to look and you don't want to be seen as the bad guy, but you're gonna have to do it for yourself, darling. You're gonna have to do it for yourself. You're not responsible for how everyone else feel. Boundaries aren't about being harsh. They are just about protecting your emotional well-being. So start saying no to things that drain you. You just start saying no to things that don't even add value to your life, and say yes to what fills your cup. Say yes to what fulfills you. Say yes to what makes you happy. And I'm not saying be selfish. Sometimes, yes, you can say yes to something that's gonna make your loved ones happy. Don't be selfish. Don't make everything about you. And one powerful way to deal with sensitivity is through mindfulness. So the more you are also aware of yourself, that's also an act of mindfulness. So mindfulness helps you to stay present and in control, even when your emotions are running high. When you feel yourself getting emotional, pause for a second. Take a deep breath in and focus on your surroundings. This little pause can stop you from reacting impulsively. I do it. I do it myself. Pause, take a breath. I look at my surroundings. I ask myself, who are you? I remind myself of who I am, my strength, and my worth. Because sometimes in the heat of the moment, people tend to forget who they are. So remind yourself. Yourself of how beautiful you are. Remind yourself of the kindness that you possess. Remind yourself of all the beautiful things about you. And over time, practicing mindfulness will help you become less reactive and more in tune with your feelings without letting them take over. So, yeah, man, just do that. And let's not forget about self compassion. Being sensitive often means we are super critical of ourselves. If you mess up or react emotionally, don't beat yourself up. Talk to yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend who's going through a hard time. It's okay to feel emotional. Everyone does. The key is learning how to be gentle with yourself in those moments instead of getting frustrated or angry at your sensitivity. Don't do that. Have some understanding for yourself. Have some self compassion. Understand why you are the way you are and why is it good that you are the way that you are. So accept yourself, and instead of working against yourself, accept yourself and work with yourself and see yourself living life with harmony. And lastly, shift your perspective. Sometimes we get caught up in a moment and it feels like the world is crashing down. But ask yourself, will this really matter a month from now, a year from now? Most of the time, the answer is no. Zooming out helps you realize that what's overwhelming you now is temporary, and it's gonna pass now and you'll get through it. So normalize asking yourself these questions before reacting any type of way. Just do that for yourself. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time, but you've got to practice that. That's how you build habits, by doing it all over again until it becomes a part of who you are. So, my beautiful people, there you have it. By recognizing your triggers, reframing your thoughts, and setting boundaries, and also that mindfulness practices I'm telling you about, you can stop being overly sensitive and start living with emotional balance. Balance is a need, balance is needed. I was making I have a video here. It's about feminine and masculinity. It talks about the balance between the two, the the importance why both men and women have to know how to balance these energies they have within themselves. And when I was doing research for that, it taught me so much about how truly balance is so important. So remember, fam, emotions are not the enemy, they are just signals that we need to pay attention to. But we don't have to let them control our lives. So remember this. You've got this, you've got this, you've got this. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button and drop a comment telling us about your experiences. Tell us about you being sensitive. How is it affecting you, and what is it that you want to change? And I'll be there. I'll be there to hear your thoughts. I'll be there to interact with you. And as always, remember your sanity is your superpower. Stay blessed and know that you are the best version of yourself already. Until next time, bye, my beautiful people. Toodles.